Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of White Tech Universe. Today I'm going to be showing you a video review of the Zebronics 700 watt power supply, which is absolutely necessary for a gaming system. So these are the specifications that you can see that's on the power supply. It's a 700 watts power supply. So I'm going to be replacing my old 1000 watt power supply with this one. Why am I replacing a 1000 watt with this one? The reason is simple. The one that I got with the cabinet, I requested for a 1000 watt one, but it was a very low end one, and I got it for about 3000 rupees. But then it did serve me for a year very well, but then lately it failed on me. Whereas in the CPU was not able to get enough power, because if you can play high-end games like Battlefield 3, you are expected to have a 1000 watts power supply, and I bought the same. But then this one was not of very good quality. It was some brand called Emron. So early the first few years it played very well, including Battlefield 3, and then even in Call of Duty and everything very well. But then what happened is midway it just kind of stops the CPU from running, and it just shuts it down. So that was the biggest issue with it. So now you can see that I'm going to be replacing it with this Zebronics power supply. By the looks of it, it looks quite good, and it's got a very large exhaust fan. The old one had a front and a back exhaust unit, and this has sleeved cables, which is a nice thing. It insulates it from the heat. And as you can see, it's got the usual connectors. What I'm looking for is, yep, there is this one for the graphics card, and of course yep, this is another adapter which I can use to plug into a 8x4 graphics card, and this is of course for the CPU. And yep, it's got most of it. The cabinet that I'm using, so this is the cabinet that I have. It's I think it's a medium ATX cabinet. Let me just go on ahead a little bit. So what I have here is an AMD 8120 8-core CPU and a 6850 graphics card. I know it's an old card, but a really good one, and a power hungry one also. And the latest Battlefield 4 game, that's where actually the old power unit failed, and I'm hoping this new one will do a good job at it. That's where the graphics card was asking for more juice, and the power supply couldn't just provide it, and the PC used to shut down. And to cool the system, I have newly purchased a deep cool fan here. So in addition to the 120 mm fan here, I have another one here. So that's to pull in more air. I've got another 80 mm fan that will go here. That will act as a good suction intake and then expulsion of the hot air outside. Okay, so I'm going to be mounting it here on the brackets. So that's where it's going to be housed upon, and once that is done, I'll get back to you with the final installation. Alright, so there you see it. I've fixed the system here, the bolts are there, and I have it running now. Alright, so it's got this cool blue LED look to it. So mine is the top mount to run, but it sheds a nice blue tint to the entire system here. Right, so I've got my hard disks connected. CPU fan is running quite good there, and yep, the additional fans also are quite good inside there. So you see that the cables are sleeved. They're pretty neat, and that's about it. And now I have to run Battlefield 4 and make sure that things are running fine here. I will report back on that. Okay, so I fixed the Zebronics 700 watt power supply there, and I'm playing Battlefield 4 on the system, and everything seems to be running quite smoothly. There is no issue with the power supply whatsoever. Let me reiterate, I'm using a AMD 6850 graphics card, and its processor is AMD 8120, and the graphics, as you can see, is running in high, not in ultra, but that's pretty much the resolution I play in. That's gives me good frame rate. So as you can see, the graphics are pretty decent here, and in fact it's pretty good, and everything seems to be running smoothly, and 700 watts seems to be enough for this system. So everything is running cool and smooth, and of course the fans are helping it to run cool and smooth. So that's the thing. So in case you're planning to go for the Zebronics power supply, I think it is worth it for how much it costs. It just costs about 3,400 rupees, and yep, so that's about it for the review. So thank you. You can show the graphics, see how it's made.